LeBron James' sons, Bronny and Bryce, have both signed NIL deals with Klutch Sports, and it looks like we'll finally be able to see them play. We don't know about you, but that's the most exciting news we've heard all week. If you want to learn more about the deal James' sons have signed, stick around until the end of the video. Let's get right into it. First up, both of LeBron's sons signed the deal. LeBron James has often been heard talking about how he wants to play with at least one of his sons in the NBA for at least one season. Based on recent developments, that may just happen. We always assumed that he was talking about his older son Bronny. However, now it looks like his younger son Bryce is ready to hop into the family business too. Bryce James, who is currently age 15, just signed a NIL deal with Klutch Sports on Monday, and the company didn't waste any time posting about it on their social media. It looks like Bronny decided to follow in his younger brother's footsteps, as he too signed an NIL deal with Klutch Sports, and the company announced the deal on Tuesday. Klutch Sports is a sports agency founded by LeBron's agent and his longtime friend, Rich Paul. The company is pretty big. A lot of the NBA's biggest stars are represented by the company. LeBron himself is one of the athletes represented by the company. Now it looks like both of his sons are represented by the same company as well. It's beginning to look like we'll be seeing both Bronny and Bryce in the NBA very soon. Bronny might join the NBA and play alongside or against his dad. We've got to admit, it'll be pretty interesting to watch the brothers go up against one another in the NBA. It's the big baller brand, except it's with LeBron James. Next up, will LeBron be able to play basketball with his sons? That's the big question, isn't it? LeBron has expressed his desire to be able to play basketball in the NBA alongside his sons quite a few times now, and it finally looks like that dream might just be able to come true. Though it's more likely that we'll get to see LeBron play alongside or against Bronny rather than Bryce. We have to remember that Bryce is only 15 right now. He's not even close to being eligible for the NBA draft and will instead be a part of the 2025 draft class if he decides to go into the NBA straight out of high school. Bronny, on the other hand, is going to be a part of the 2024 recruiting class, and LeBron has talked about how he wants to play at least a year of basketball with Bronny in the NBA. LeBron would be 39 during Bronny's rookie season. Now, most people at that point would be well into their athletic decline. However, from what we've seen of LeBron James, he doesn't seem to be anywhere near stopping anytime soon. So there's a good chance that he'll give his eldest son a run for his money if he does end up going against him in the NBA. On the other hand, as we said before, Bryce will come into the NBA a year after Bronny. If LeBron wants to play with him in the NBA, he'll have to hop onto the Tom Brady plan and extend his plan to play in the NBA well into his 40s. Coming up, who's a better prospect, Bryce or Bronny? This is a big question that a lot of people have been asking themselves when it comes to the James brothers. Both of the brothers are far better than the average Joe. Even though Bryce is just 15, he could probably wipe the floor with almost everybody playing at your neighborhood basketball court. First up, let's take a look at Bronny James. The kid is a natural when it comes to basketball, and he takes after his father in terms of athleticism. Bronny is also among the very few high school athletes sponsored by Nike, which is a huge achievement. He has a big career ahead of him. However, as things stand right now, he's been hampered by injury, and because of that, he dropped down the prospects ladder quite a bit. Now, let's take a look at Bryce. He's still far from joining his dad in the NBA and has to grow as a player before he's NBA material. He doesn't have a star rating as a prospect yet. However, However, there are quite a bit of people who seem to think that overall, he's a much better prospect than Bronny when it comes to the long term. Finally, what are the chances of seeing the James family on the same team? As we mentioned before, the chances of LeBron being able to play with his younger son Bryce are pretty low, and we wouldn't count on it. However, he'll probably end up playing at least one season with Bronny, as he'll be present in the 2024 class of NBA recruits. Though he's fallen off quite a bit because of his injuries, he's still doing pretty well. Overall, seeing the entire James household on an NBA court will probably never happen. However, the thought itself is pretty exciting. Wouldn't it be awesome to watch LeBron and both his sons start a Lakers game together? We're sure it would sell out in a heartbeat. Now, let's check out how a US journalist turned LeBron James into a megastar. First up, why is Grant Wahl so revered? Grant Wahl was an American journalist widely known for playing an important role in shaping the careers of many of the biggest names in the NBA today. He tragically passed away while covering the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. That said, it is widely accepted that he wasn't just a football guru, but also possessed a brilliant mind for basketball. He spent the better part of 2 decades writing for Sports Illustrated and often covered college sports. Though he mostly covered football, he regularly covered college basketball as well. Sports Illustrated was probably the biggest name and sports brand in America at the time. So naturally, any athlete that was lucky enough to get featured would get a huge boost in their career. Over the length of his career, Grant Wahl met a massive number of players who played college ball and helped them get a foot in the sports industry. These players include James Harden, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kevin Love, and Al Horford. All of these players later went on to become some of the biggest superstars the NBA had ever seen. Next up, what did he do for LeBron? While Grant was accustomed to helping college-level athletes get their name out there, one story impacted the modern NBA the most, and it came out in 2002. It was the story that covered a high school junior who went by the name LeBron James, and Wahl made sure to splash LeBron on the February 18th cover of the magazine. The magazine had the headline, "The Chosen One." It was at that point that James' fame skyrocketed. He became a household name almost overnight, and the rest, as they say, is history. Still though, we can't just end the video here. We've got a bit more to talk about, so let's get right into it. In his article about James, he compared the high school junior with the likes of Michael Jordan. That in itself was the biggest praise any basketball player could receive at that time. As if naming a high schooler the chosen one wasn't enough, Wahl had gone on to put James at the same level as Jordan in one fell swoop. Coming up, why did Wahl take the risk with LeBron? Sports Illustrated had previously taken its fair share of bets on young high school prodigies. That's probably why Wahl felt comfortable taking a chance on LeBron James. Still though, taking a chance on a high school junior was as risky as it gets. We have to say, it ended up paying off big time. Grant Wahl had a knack for being able to spot talent from a mile away. You see, high school prodigies didn't always work out. Examples of such include Felipe Lopez and Shea Cotton. However, it wasn't like they were all failures. There were success stories as well, such as Kevin Garnett back in 1995. It's safe to say that the only reason that Sports Illustrated felt comfortable with taking a chance on LeBron was that it was coming from Grant Wahl. That, plus the fact that Wahl had spent the better part of a year observing the player and fully scouting him, made him a sure shot to fame. There's even a story about how Wahl drove James and his friends for 45 minutes to reach Cleveland so they could watch Michael Jordan face off against the Cavaliers. Finally, was it all worth it? Well, we're not gonna lie. After seeing everything LeBron James has been able to accomplish accomplish at this point, it makes us feel stupid to ask this question. James was clearly Wall's biggest success story, and honestly, we're thankful that he took notice of James when he did. Who knows how his career would have turned out had he not been spotted by Grant. James has, up until this point, gone on to shatter records, rewrite history, and established himself as one of the greatest basketball players to have ever played the game. His athleticism, basketball IQ, and skills on the court are unparalleled by any other player present in the NBA today. The man just strikes fear into his opponents every time he steps on the court. Perhaps the one thing that people might say about James is that he never truly established himself as a franchise player for any team. However, therein lies another amazing fact about James. The man has played for a number of teams, and each time he's been traded, he's managed to wreak havoc on the basketball court. There's no denying the fact that James proved Wall right. Wall talked about how he was a bit scared they would ruin James' life by putting him on the cover. The reason was that he was afraid of the pressure getting to him. But as we all know, James went on to become the greatest high school player of all time, and for many, the GOAT of basketball. Well, that's a wrap for this video. Do you think LeBron James is the GOAT? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.